So the 2023 NFL Draft begins tomorrow in Kansas City, and this could be a very interesting draft. We have a chance of anywhere between 3 and 5 quarterbacks being taken in the first round alone. We have a number of very talented players on the board that could change their prospective teams. And like we talk about every single year, the NFL Draft is the one time of the year that every single team, no matter how bad they are, has some hope. They just might get that player that propels them onto success. Sure, it doesn't usually happen, but we think it might. And that is what makes the NFL Draft so exciting. So let's go ahead and jump in to our 2023 NFL Mockery Draft. The Carolina Panthers traded quite a bit to move into the top spot of this year's NFL Draft. And I would think that with their recent struggles, they've got to be looking at a quarterback, right? They are in a prime position to get their franchise quarterback with the number 1 pick overall. They didn't want to settle for like the 3rd or 4th option in this class. Instead, they sent wide receiver DJ Moore and a package of picks to move up to get the pick that they wanted. Now, there are a number of different options that they could go with here. But I think they're going to go with Alabama quarterback Bryce Young because after they visited with him, he canceled all of his future visits. And I would assume that is because the Panthers told him, you're going to be the number 1 pick. Now, the coaches, I think, actually prefer Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud. So you have to wonder about the damage that maybe owner David Tepper is doing with meddling with his coaches and what the coaching staff wants. But here's the thing. Rich guys are always convinced they are the smartest people in the room. Are they? No. But tell that to like Jerry Jones. He's convinced of it. So the Panthers are going to take Bryce Young, and then they're going to wonder why a 180-pound quarterback keeps getting hurt behind that offensive line. Hey, at least they have head coach Frank Reich to get Bryce Young ready to go, much like he did recently with Matt Ryan and Phillip Rivers and Carson Wentz. What could possibly go wrong, right? Next up at number 2, we have the Houston Texans. The Texans actually should have been the number 1 pick this year, but then they went out and they won a meaningless game in Week 18, and then they fired their head coach Lovie Smith after just 1 year on the job for winning a game. I thought that was what he was supposed to do. Instead, Houston went out and they hired 38-year-old 49ers defensive coordinator DeMeco Ryans to take over their head coaching job. It's not going to be an easy job. They really need a bona fide quarterback to replace their current quarterback, the part giraffe, Davis Mills, whatever he is. So Ohio State quarterback C.J. Stroud makes perfect sense here. But since when have the Texans ever made any sense in anything they do? So I think they'll take Alabama defensive end Will Anderson. Hey, I love Will Anderson. I really love that kid's game. But it makes no sense, which is why it makes perfect sense for the Houston Texans. We move to the pick number 3, where the Arizona Cardinals are there, and the Cardinals have some problems. Not only does their $230 million quarterback Kyler Murray fail to study film because he's playing Call of Duty, but he also isn't allowed to ride any of the rides at Magic Mountain, which puts him in kind of a sour mood just in general. But Kyler Murray isn't the only issue the Cardinals have. The Cardinals lost cornerback Byron Murphy Jr., they lost defensive end Zach Allen, J.J. Watt is gone, wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins wants out too. Hey, if Hopkins leaves, you could make a pretty strong case. This might be the worst team in the NFL, at least talent-wise. So, with the number 3 pick, I will say the Cardinals, who don't need a quarterback, well, they probably do need a quarterback, but they don't think they do, and they can't take one here. They'd get in trouble. So maybe they trade down, but I'll say that the Cardinals will take Texas Tech defensive lineman Tyree Wilson. It's not a glamorous pick, but they do have a need there. Probably isn't even a good pick, but neither are the Cardinals, so what did you expect? Okay, YouTube, that is it for this week. But this week on the podcast, we are going through the top 15 picks, and we are making our NFL draft preview as only we can. We do have some breaking news. We are talking some NBA playoffs. Got a number of stories this week, in fact. Also have a story about a Major League Baseball team. And we've got a couple of weird things going on in the NFL and NBA as well. So be sure you go out and you check out the full podcast. I will leave a link here in the comments on YouTube for you. Hope you all are doing well. I will see you all next Wednesday. Have a great week and enjoy the NFL draft.